going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You know who it is by now.
Jimothy.
So ladies and gents, we are back with a deck profile for a deck that I have been entirely messing around with, which I am actually quite enjoying. Now the deck in question is Mathmech, a deck that I've had for a while now, probably since it first debuted in Mystic Fighters, I believe, or something like that. So obviously with the new support, it's gone a lot in the way of being able to impact the meta, but this is just my take on the build, ladies and gents. It's still a work in progress, so as always, definitely get at me in the comment section below with any suggestions. So starting us off, ladies and gents, obviously we've got the new boy, the big boy, the one card combo, Mathmech Circular. This card is just, it's silly. You get a special summon, a search, it's a dump, it's just crazy, all in one card basically. So a very powerful card. Definitely need to max out on this bad boy. Next up, for the normal summon of the deck, you've got triple Mathmech Diameter. Again, I think this goes without saying, to be honest. These two ratios, or these two cards, definitely come in at their maximum, just because you search one free normal combo, as well as having one for follow-up, and then obviously just one in deck. So yeah, triple Mathmech Diameter. Next, I've decided to go for the triple edition. Now, I am waiting on a couple of pot of desires, which means that I'm going to bump my Mathmech count up a little bit more, just because I will be playing desires. So I don't want to banish like single copies of cards, but I feel like Mathmech edition should be a 3 of. It's a free extender. I don't max out on any more of the other cards, so I just thought that the addition would have been nice, just to be able to play through a couple of hand traps basically and still be able to end on some kind of a significant board. Next up, we have got the double subtraction. Again, just an extender. It's another name basically. It special summons itself. It doesn't really do anything unless you've got a card on field, which means if it's a little bit ineffective, a little bit like addition, to be honest, but nevertheless it's a free extender, free special summon. And then obviously we've got the target for our circular, which is a double sigma. You don't necessarily need to run 2, you can get away with running 1, but I do like the 2 just in case I draw 1. It's kind of like the Vision Hero increase scenario, by where you can play 1, you should probably play 1 to be more efficient, but if you do draw it, your combo is kind of like dead. So you can still do other things. Obviously you can dump other cards off addition and be able to special summon them through a couple of means in our extra deck, but I just like running a 2 sigma, especially if one gets banished as well, because people kind of cutting on to Mathmech now that it's starting to get a bit more popularity. And then we have the Mathmech Multiplication and the Mathmech Nabla. Again, I like this card just because it OTKs. Multiplication is crazy. Targets a monster in your extra monster zone, so it doesn't have to be a Mathmech monster. And Nabla can just grab you whatever it wants from deck. So nice couple of cards here. They don't really do much on them by themselves. They don't special summon themselves, so having them at any more than 1 can be a little bit bricky, which these two could potentially be your 4th and 5th normal summon. So yeah, is what it is. Next, ladies and gents, onto the hand traps. I am in a little bit contention with the hand traps. I am looking for my DD Crows. I don't know where I've put them, so I've had to just put in a couple of other hand traps just to kind of like fit the bill, because obviously we're trying to put in hand traps that combat the meta. Ash just hits everything. Rogue, not rogue, meta. It's good, but it's only good if it's paired with another card. Just by itself, Ash does not do enough. I'm not gonna lie, ladies and gents, but if you've got a couple of negates on board, or a bit of board presence as well as an Ash, Ash is a fantastic card. So definitely maxing out on the Ash right there. I've decided to go for triple Nibiru. Now obviously T-Element is in the format as well as Sprite, but I do still think Nibiru has its merits. Sprite can be stopped if you stop their normal summon. That means they have to overextend, which means Nibiru will definitely be coming into play, but it's an easy side out target, and this is probably what I would have in my side, and I would swap these for a DD Crow, ladies and gents. So just because I can't find my DD Crows, I don't know what deck I've left them in. It's probably in my Sword Soul deck, which is just somewhere, but yeah, triple Nibiru, ladies and gents, as a proxy for DD Crow. Definitely a side deck card. Don't sleep on Nibiru. A lot of people are not respecting Nibiru at the moment, and I do think it is a bit of a blowout card, especially to some more of those like rogue decks that are in the format. And another questionable pick, and this was kind of like with sprites in mind. We've gone with the Cypher Gear Gamma. Again, if you start their normal summon, you put sprites on, have you got the extender, yes or no? And if they don't, then their turn's effectively over. If they do, then GG is what it is. You can't always have everything. But nonetheless, Gamma, very, very powerful hand trap. Pairs nicely with Nibiru as well. So definitely something that I'm running. Again, a nice easy side out targets, ladies and gents. Next, we are on to the spells. So we're playing one Mathmech equation. Again, you can search this. Nice little bit of an extender. Just basically a monster reborn for your Mathmech monsters. So one equation. Triple silent mining kind of goes without saying, to be honest. Consistency is what it is. We're also main decking the Dark Ruler No More. Now, I've got mixed feelings about this card, ladies and gents. It is needed. I do believe it needs to be main deck, but I'm not too sure whether or not it should be main deck at 3 or 2. Sprites put up a crazy board. You can't always play through the board. In fact, it's highly unlikely that you're going to play through a board with just 6 cards in hand. So you need something to kind of like affect the board state as it is. So just going with the triple Dark Ruler No More does help, but you do see it in your opening hand from time to time. So I'm actually thinking about bumping one of these out just so I don't see it as much, and then side it in when I'm going second. So yeah, but yeah, nevertheless, it is needed, ladies and gents, especially with the boards that Sprites and T-Elements are putting up at the moment. One Mystic Mine out. I never leave my house without any kind of back row removal. At least one, ladies and gents, at least one. One Call by the Grave, as well as one Monster Reborn. Now, I always play Monster Reborn in Cyberse decks. I think it's a great extender because any one card can almost, or any 2 cards can turn into a access code talker. So if you get stopped for whatever reason, you can go into your Monster reborn something, go into Splash Mage, go to transcode. Yeah, you know how it goes, ladies and gents. So a Monster Reborn, I do value it highly. Next, onto the traps. The trap of the day, which is basically set up a Trishula on your opponent's turn. Mathmech Super Factorial. You search this for the combo. You don't necessarily need to, but I do believe that 2 is probably correct. You can resolve a couple of them in one game, so definitely something to bear in mind, but you can change this up. And the other trap that we play is triple Infinite Impermanence. Now, there's one thing about Cyberse decks, ladies and gents, which I do kind of enjoy. You've got a lot of space for tech cards. So all the hand traps that you see in this deck can be something else, depending on your local meta, depending on your preferences. It can be literally anything, because a lot of the Cyberse decks are kind of like 1 card combos, and they just basically build a board off like a 1 card. So it's always good to just kind of like play around with ratios. I've gone for triple Impermanence along with all the other hand traps, but by all means, feel free to just kind of like change that up. Now, finally, we're on to the extra deck, and this is where the contention comes in. So we've gone with the 1 Link Disciple, 1 Link Devotee, the 1 Lingeribo for our Link 1s. Again, this kind of goes without saying. This is your combo enabler. Remember that Link Devotees are mandatory effect to kind of lock you into Link 2 or Cyberse monsters. And Lingeribo is good. I like Lingeribo just because it kind of plays around traps. You can actually just play around evenly matched as well. Next, on to our 2s, we've got 1 Update Jammer, 1 Cyberse Wicked, 1 IP Masquerena. Again, this is just for your combo, ladies and gents. You typically end on the Cyberse Wicked and Masquerena, and if you played your card right, you can also end on the Lingeribo as well. So the board is quite formidable, as well as your trap being set. We also got the 1 Splash Mage. Again, this card's crazy. You could actually play this at 2. It's actually that powerful. So yeah. Next, for the 3s, we've got 1 transcode talker. Now, in fact, I'm going to go through this first. We've got 1 transcode. Obviously, we've got access code talker. This is just goes without saying, ladies and gents. You have these in your Cyberse deck. They just pop OTKs basically. So access code talker is a hell of a card. And then on for the staples, we've got Prime Mathmech Laplacian. This card's crazy. This is the Trishula effect card. Send 1 card from hand, field, and the spell and trap card zone to the graveyard. So definitely a powerful deck. As you can see, I do have 1 secret because I did open this deck when it first came out, and these are just mad expensive now. I remember this card being £5, and I was thinking to myself, Should I pick up some more? I was like, nah, the deck's not playable as yet. Now look crazy. And then we have the double Prime Mathmech Allen version. Like I said before, I do have one secret. This gold one, I do quite like gold, to be honest, especially on XYZ monsters, but this card's good. It can actually help you to end on a bit more of a board depending on how you want to play it, because it can tribute a monster to special summon a Mathmech monster from your grave. It could tribute itself, or you could tribute one of the tokens that the Link Devotee makes. So definitely a nice card right there, ladies and gents. So as you can see, there's a bit of a shortage in the extra deck, and the reason is these cards right here. Now, I'm a little bit inclined to end on the Mathmech cards because I want to play Mathmechs, but I am under the understanding that these two cards are not the most competitive in terms of what you want to end on. Appaloosa is a little bit of a shoe-in, especially with IP Masquerena, so she's definitely got to go in. But Deco Talker Heat Soul and the two Mathmech monsters are a bit of an issue. Now, Spinal Sigma helps you to OTK, and it's a bit of a towers in extra monster zone. However, I do like Geomathmech Magma, just because it can pop cards when it destroys a monster by battle, which can clear up for some OTKs. Now, because I main deck Dark Ruler no more, I was using this quite a lot, especially in testing. I'll Dark Ruler my opponent, get two Mathmech monsters, make this, as well as do my like Mathmech combos to kind of go into my Laplation on my opponent's turn, and I would use this to just clear 3 cards off the field basically. So the value I get out of this card is crazy, but hence why I really want to end on it. But I'm being a little bit stubborn. I know it's not as competitive as ending on like Appaloosa or just pivoting into a Deco Talker Heat Soul. So yeah, I need to do a bit more testing. So yeah, it is what it is. So anyway, ladies and gents, we have come to the end of another video. If you think there was anything that I needed to include, or maybe a little bit of a different approach to this deck, definitely get at me in that comment section below. And as always, if you did enjoy this content, you know what to do by now. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, all that beautiful good stuff, and I will definitely see you guys on the next video. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.